Saturday night at Brennan Theaters watching Transcendence with Johnny Depp, Morgan Freeman. This movie was boring. It starts off with a question, an idea, something that is talked about all the time in science, and you really think the movie is going to focus on us trying to be gods, us trying to solve all the world's problems. They totally throw you the question, and then we just go this way. And you're sitting there the whole time going like, get back to what you introduced me to. It was very slow pace, a lot of plot holes in this movie. You're just kind of like, that time doesn't work, or there's no way that just, it leaves you frustrated. It's a 2-hour movie that's like, really? And you have Morgan Freeman in it. You know, yeah, he's old, so I don't expect him to be doing crazy action scenes, but like the only things for me that were good was when he was on screen. Like, okay, cool, we got Morgan Freeman now. Stuff's all right. Like the concept of the actual movie with nanites and things like that, it's a cool concept if you stay in that concept. But when you all of a sudden throw out the question and you do something totally different, it becomes pointless. And then the ending is such a cop-out, you're like, wow. Way to actually brainstorm the writer people like, hey, we got an idea for something. In a nutshell, if you're a Johnny Depp fan and some of the other actors in there, go see it. You'll like it. If not, you can totally wait for it to come out on Redbox, or you could just be like, I'd rather go see Heaven is For Real. I personally think that might have been the better one this week, but we can't get them all. This movie, I give it a 3 because it was that boring and that irritating, and the cop-out and the getting off topic. But let's see what some other peeps had to say about this steaming pile of transcendental. So the content of the story, what'd you think?
I had some interest in this film. I was looking forward to this film in part because they were exploring a concept that hasn't really been explored very well. The idea of AI and things like Terminator, you know, the surface, the very baseline of the concept. This looked like it was going to go a little deeper. Sadly, it was just a love story. It looked promising. I have a problem with the story because they went in the wrong direction with it. If the love story is what they were attempting to do, I don't think they did a very good job with that either.
It was a boring, terrible film that you shouldn't have saw. It had potential to be a great movie and to shed light on a lot of hot topics in the world and to give a fun, quirky, not a fun, but just a kind of a different look and perspective on it, and it on your chest.
I have mixed feelings. I thought the plot had potential, but they wasted it on romance, lovey-dovey shit. This movie doesn't tackle deep enough into the philosophical and controversial issue, and that's probably why it doesn't. This movie can be controversial. Technology, biology, where does the line cross? And they don't go too much into it. There's so much they could do, but they didn't. They decided to invest in the love and romance instead. Bad mix. I don't like it. It sucked ass. It
Weird.
sucked right out of the crack.
So the actors and characters, how are they for you?
When you're looking at the script and you're looking at the actors and you try to put them together, I can't really blame the actors. Because, I mean, you know a lot of these actors are really good. They weren't very good in this movie. I think a lot of it is blamed on the script. It was dry, a lot of the conversation was unbelievable. The things that the characters do, they're not things that characters would actually do. You look at it and there's no logical reason these choices would have been made or these decisions would have been made. That tells me that it was poorly written.
I really enjoy the British guy, Paul Bettany. I like him. We had Kate Mara, who I just hate watching because she's going to be Sue Storm, and she shouldn't even be Sue Storm. She's not even pretty enough to be Sue Storm. Jessica Alba back in the 90s, like, yeah, she's hella cool, but she was awesome. She was gorgeous. You have the other girl who was from Iron Man 3 that's just annoying, and I'm so my husband is. Girls in this movie were awful. They did not make smart girls look good at whatsoever. They just put a red X over them and said, don't date smart girls, go to your stupid girls. That's what they did.
I think the actors did the best they could with the script they had. They probably obviously chose this movie because they thought the story had potential. Maybe there were script changes throughout the movie, who knows?
Probably. Rewrites!
I just think this movie could have done better. It had a good idea, and it turned it into because of love. All the question, is this really Will, or is it just a machine pretending to be Will, or thinking it's Will?
And what do you give this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I actually give this movie a 5. It's an F, but I give this movie a 5 because I think that they tried to tackle a subject that no one seems to want to tackle. That if it is brought up in movies, it's brought up in a Matrix way or a Terminator way, where it's a very baseline, good and evil, black and white concept. No one really dives into it the way it is, the idea of technology being integrated into someone's life.
New question for you. What pissed you off the most?
The whole thing. It's like a 4. Do not watch this movie. I would have rather went and saw Heaven is For Real and felt uplifted and still have the internet at the end of the movie.
I'm going to give it a 6, mainly because they had a good idea, and they had good actors, and good visual effects for what there was. And it was wasted.
I'm curious to know, what do you think is like the best science fiction movie that we have that could be a reality? Go ahead and shoot that down there and let me know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that already. And then like this video, favorite it, share it. Next week, we're bringing you Paul Walker, Brick Mansions. Don't miss it. And as always, we're letting you know before you go at Brennan Theaters.